It's the fabled October surprise, as in an event of political upheaval that throws the fate of the election into chaos. Because lo and behold, President Donald Trump, aka Voldemort, has been stricken down with the Shanghai Shivers COVID-19. What could possibly happen next? What does this mean for the fate of the US? Whether you support him or you fucking hate him, what's gonna happen? Well, I think this is a good time to kind of take stock and figure out, where did we come from and where are we going? This channel, I'd like to think, is a Gamergate channel. And for me, I never gave two shits about politics, really. Like, if I'm being honest, I had some surface level libtard political views. I was anti-war. I didn't like George Bush. But for me, 30-year-old boomer that I am, personally, I just wanted to be left alone so I could play my video. And if they just let white men like me have our little space to just ignore the wider world and just slowly suffocate and die, well, they would absolutely have whatever goals, that these sick goals, to completely destroy and disenfranchise my generation of men. They could have achieved those goals. And yet they fucked up because they've created in me their worst enemy. I'm a man who understands exactly what my political views are, and it just so happens that they are completely at odds with the neoliberal clown world agenda. I am a Frankenstein monster golem created in the mind of a twisted leftist hack. And there's something really funny to me about that, right? Because, they're getting what they deserve. Like, they had me. I was on their side, okay? I was, like I said before, anti-Bush. I fuck the bankers. I was one of those libertarian 90s style liberals, and that's how I was raised. What the fuck happened? How dumb do these people actually have to be? These sicko journalists, these fucking self-absorbed narcissistic women that also hold water for this, whatever this agenda is that we have to suck down every single day. They force us to eat the slop. You know what? You should have left us a couple of crumbs. You shouldn't have taken away things like our implicitly white music that used to give us some kind of respite from the deluge of nothing but, twerking mulattoes, degenerate, awful rap music, just nothing but materialistic bullshit. Fact is, if you'd left us some scraps, if you'd left us our emo girls, and left us our good video, our good comic books, and our decent movies, maybe we'd be distracted enough to not notice our entire future being just stripped away, piece by piece, and just sold off for nothing, for pennies, like it was never worth anything. And one day it's there, the next day it's gone. One day you have girls walking around with, dyed skunk hair and, they're doing their nails, they're dressing like goths. And the next minute they're blue-haired feminists that are obsessed with destroying what they call the patriarchy, but what I call, Western civilization. Things happen so quickly. This idea that communism is cool, right? And that white men who already felt disenfranchised. Just look at emo, look at scene, look at that what they call the last implicit stand of white identity. It was already about feeling wounded, about feeling rejected. It was already about being an outsider. And they still felt they had to take that away from us. Because something white supremacy, something Marxist critical race theory. You see, they have a huge ocean of academic clout that they draw from to justify basically canceling anything implicitly white. So, I guess that explains the death of rock music, turn on the radio today and it's wet ass pussy, right? I'm really quite fucking fed up with the vapidness of modern women, to be honest, because they don't even see an issue with it. Like, hey, wet ass pussy, what a great fucking tune. Incredible, that's what our culture has become. If you don't find the image of a retarded black woman twerking in front of a burning statue of George Washington absolutely appealing, well, you've got a problem, don't you? In fact, you should be fired from your job. Because there's absolutely no room for hate in this progressive, inclusive society that we have now. And by hate, I mean well, heteronormative, male, traditional, conservative. I don't even know what hate means anymore, and I don't even know what love means anymore, because we're living in an Orwellian time of doublespeak. Like, for me, love is synonymous with truth, and truth is synonymous with beauty. And these things were the fundamental values of our culture, as in Western Europeans. And these values, they permeated our culture, our art, everything, our society itself. And it's all been thrown away. It's been critiqued into nothing. Even the idea that something is true, it's postmodernism, right? It's Jacques Derrida, right? It's been critiqued as foul logocentric, and it should be thrown out because anyone's perspective is valid now. Anything is valid. Anything. It's just chaos. And here we are. This brings us to October 2020, where I have a gun to my head and I'm being told, you better vote for Joe Biden, shitlord. Look at the mess you caused with this Gamergate shit. You better fall in line, otherwise we're gonna be mad. We're gonna make sure you regret it. The left, the Marxists, the journalists, the feminists, the mask has slipped, and now everybody sees them for what they are, which is honestly terrifying. It's Lovecraftian. Regardless of what they say I'm supposed to be and how bad I'm supposed to be, it can't be as bad as what I see coming from their side. Because really, all I want to do is be left alone to play my video games. That's all I ever wanted. Maybe in the future I can have a wife and a family, and I can play my video games with them. But because they won't grant me that human right that I have to live my life how I want as a free man, they've left me no choice but to vote for Donald Trump, dead or alive, infected with COVID or 6 feet under the fucking ground. They've left me no choice because frankly, I don't see much left of value to defend in this clown system that we currently live in. So before I check out like Uncle Ted and build myself a cabin in the middle of the wilderness, I'm gonna vote for Trump one last time, not for any virtuous ideological or intellectual reasons. For me, this is still about Gamergate all these years later, and I'm gonna vote for Trump because it's funny.